Hello, Degens! Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am the Brofect one, AJ, and with me, as always, is the man with the numbers. He is the sportsbook whisperer, the college basketball guru, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how in the hell are you doing today, and how was your weekend?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a little bit of a crazy weekend, but it was great, and lots of fun sports. The start of the playoffs for the NBA,
Oh, man.
NHL, getting towards the end of the season here. It's getting really exciting. Yeah, I'm great.
You
I'm
know what,
great,
Noah?
AJ. How are you?
Bro, I could not complain if I tried. This weekend was one of those weekends where, shout out to my girlfriend for being so understanding. She was like, hey, let's go out, let's grab a drink, let's have a dinner and everything. And she understood that when I drove her to a sports bar and we sat there for a couple hours watching some games, throwing some live bets. But hey, she understands it's part of the job. We don't, Noah, we love what we do, but at the end of the day, we're putting in the work, brother. And we got to watch those games. We got to be on top of it. It's what we do. Or at least that's the bullshit I tell her.
Yeah, AJ, I would normally agree with you on the I can't complain. However, I do have something that I kind of
Whoa.
want to complain about.
Whoa, it's Monday. I thought we were having a good Monday. I mean, we got football on tonight. I mean, baseball all day. Noah, what do you possibly have to complain about on this awesome Monday?
I hyped myself up too much for the USFL season, and week one was a disappointment, AJ. I
Ah.
gotta say, week one was just a disappointment, pretty
Why?
much through and through.
Don't get me wrong, and I think that you kind of see this. You see this every week with college and professional football. You watch college on Saturday, and then you watch the NFL on Sunday, and you're like, "Oh shit, no, this is just a different game." And that's kind of what I got from the USFL and everything like that. Did you have any, like, I mean, it was sloppy football. I believe they only had 3 weeks of training camp before they actually played these games and everything, which, in my opinion, is not a long enough time to ramp up. But besides, like,
Oh no.
the sloppy play and some of the officiating. Holy shit! Before we recorded this, the referees were having a conversation that sounded like fifth graders trying to make a call on the playground. Like, brother, it was bad. But I mean, I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. It's fun to have football back. Do you have what were your issues with it, bro?
It was less so with the degree of play and the quality of play.
Okay.
My big issues are just this league seems super fucking low budget and not thought through very well. I mean, for God's sakes, they're playing what's the point of having city names in the team names, first of all, if you're going to play every single game in Birmingham?
Yeah.
So none of these teams have their own individual facilities. They tried to play 3 games all in the same day at the same stadium, which obviously one of those had to get flexed and moved to tonight because, yeah, no shit, scheduling a game at noon, 3, and 7 wasn't going to work. All of this, how do you expect to have a game played at 3 when you have a game at noon? This is football. It's going to take a good 3 hours at least to finish the game, and then you got to clear out the stadium, clear out, the team's got to go in the locker room, clear out, the new team's got to come in, warm up, play. You could space it out, have a noon game and then maybe a 5:30 game.
Oh
But there's
yeah.
no way you're playing noon 3-7.
No.
That's just not going to happen. So they're going to have to either move to 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, or Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 1 on Monday from now on, because there is no way they're doing this 3-game on Sunday thing.
No, and I was looking ahead at the schedule. Let me pull it up again really quick. But it does appear that they do schedule it out a little bit more throughout the weekend. So kind of like how they had was it Saturday night they kicked off, or was it Friday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. So I know they have some games scheduled for some Friday nights, some Saturday nights, and Sunday nights, like 3 days in a row of football, so that you don't have that much. It just appears that, yeah, like next week you got 1 game on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. Week 3 you've got they got 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Week 4, so it does seem like they are. This first week just seemed to be a trial run. Like, hey, let's try to front load everything before the NBA playoffs really get into high gear and everything. And it really flopped. And then the weather delay didn't help at all in the first game. I'm with you. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there were no fans there either. I mean, granted it was Easter Sunday. The weather
Sunday.
wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, you can't get more than like 100 or 200 people there with $10 a ticket.
And so, interesting about the $10 a ticket thing, because I was looking into that because I was seeing those ads and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Scouring the internet and looking at for everything, I could finally go to the USFL site. It is $10 a ticket. However, it's kind of like college basketball first, second round. It's, what's it called? Session tickets. And so, yeah, it's $10.
So it's even cheaper.
No, absolutely. But but also no re-entry. No, like, you know what I mean? You exit, you got to buy another ticket, which again, isn't the worst thing. But if, you're just there for a day, I mean, but, as the weather was bad, it's Easter Sunday, nothing enticing really to stay. I don't know why they didn't front load Saturday. There was nothing going on Saturday. I guess day one of NBA playoffs, but I mean, the games were shit. This is first round, we got these play-in games. We'll get to that in a little bit because I'm pissed off about that. Yeah, I guess we do have a lot to complain about today. But Noah, any other thoughts on the USFL? I mean, obviously my Houston Gamblers going all in and winning their first game of the season. So shout out to them. Can't wait to
Not
see
in
them.
pretty fashion.
Hey, can't wait. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. A win's a win. Everyone's gonna look back and just see, oh wow, the Houston Gamblers, they won their first game of the season. Good for them. So we'll see how that goes as they go undefeated this season. Noah, how did your team do this weekend?
Oh, they're playing right now. I don't even know what the score is, but see, I've already lost the heart to even care, and we're not even through week one. That's how bad this is. I already am whatever. Maybe I'm gonna stick with it. At least give it a couple weeks before I fully bail on it. But
you got to.
They're not off to a good start. Plus, I can't say I'm super surprised by the attendance. They're in Birmingham, which isn't super big. All the games are in Birmingham. Like I was saying, they're just so low budget that they can't even have. I don't know. Use fucking college or soccer stadiums or whatever in all these cities and have the teams travel and be so much better.
No, yeah, I agree. Fuck. Sorry, no, we've been off for a week, so go ahead now.
No, I was just gonna say it would be so much better if they were actually in cities. I feel like people would actually start to get behind the teams rather, because nobody's gonna go travel to Birmingham to go watch a USFL game.
No, and that was the thing that really shocked me. I think about the location, they said they were going to do the hub city and everything, and we saw it work. It kind of works if you do it right and everything like that. I'm surprised they didn't just call up Jerry Jones and be like, "Hey, Jerry, you like money, right? Well, here you go." I don't understand why they didn't use Texas, which is an obviously big football state. People in Texas, they sell out for high school games, and those stadiums are huge. Why don't you go to a football state like that? Go to California. Don't go to California. Go to Florida, though. Go anywhere, literally anywhere else except Birmingham. What the hell is that about? Noah, I'm with you now after this conversation. This management needs to fix it up. Fox, you guys need to pick it up because this USFL could be gone before it even gets started. But fuck it. It's football, so I'll still be covering it at least.
Yeah, I'm still unfortunate. Probably still going to watch some of it, but
Well, Noah, as one season and league start, we start to wind down in another. NBA playoffs officially start after a pretty good play-in tournament. I'm not a fan of the play-in tournaments, and I'll get into that in a little bit, but pretty solid play-in tournament, good performance by everyone. Shocker was the Pelicans in my opinion, but with Chris Paul out, I mean Paul George, excuse me. It's hard to win in that case. But Noah, from the weekend, you got the Celtics coming up big, the Heat coming up big, Bucks putting it away, and the Suns just stepping on some throats. Dude, what a weekend. Pretty good weekend for a lot of the favorites, especially I believe the Heat were the only underdog to cover this weekend. What are your thoughts on the playoffs so far, and who do you like so far seeing?
The Heat were definitely not an underdog.
They weren't? I thought they were.
They're the 1 seed. I don't know how they would be the underdog. The Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves. My bad. There's been a lot of basketball.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the Timberwolves were the only road team to win in the first round. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken. Good for them, I guess. But
Jazz
yeah,
won
we'll.
too.
Oh, true, but Luka's out, so.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I still got Dallas in. I've got them winning in 7. They have a game tonight. We'll see how that goes. I'm hoping they can even it up. Split on the road at Utah. Get Luka back 2-2. It's just a brand new series then. Little 3-game series with Luka back. I like the Mavs. But yeah, it's no big surprises. Had a couple really exciting games. That Nets and Celtics game was a really good one down to the wire.
Bad blood there. Holy shit. I mean, Boston looking like Philly fans for a second there to Kyrie Irving. And hey, real quick, let's land on that for a second. I absolutely love everything that was. The way the fans were, Kyrie Irving responding. I loved it all. I need more of that. It's only fair. I mean, I've been to so many baseball games where I am ruthless to the outfielder. You're going to drop it. Hey, 32, you suck. 32, you're going to miss it. I'm an asshole. I'm an absolute asshole. And if a player gave it back to me, I wouldn't care. That's awesome. That's great. I mean, I need more of that. I'm a huge fan of it. I know some old school people are like, oh, you can't be doing that. They pay money. Fuck it. Yeah, they pay money, but he's a person and everything. He's heard enough of it. Let him go off. Let him do his thing. That was great, bro. I'm a big fan of it. Huge fan. Shout out Kyrie Irving. You might be my new favorite basketball player.
Whoa.
Yeah,
all right.
I know. And I'm a DA guy through and through. I mean, it's the only basketball jersey I own is a DA jersey. But after this performance this weekend, I know they lost and everything, but Kyrie, my man. What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was funny. Love seeing the Boston fans give it to him. Boston's like, I don't know how do I say it. They're kind of like the Philly fan base, just a lot less like shitty of people.
Yeah, they wouldn't do Santa Claus.
They can be, close to the same level of ruthless. Not quite. I mean, nobody really gets to Philly level. Man, I mean, just Philly fans, they boo their own players, so they're just bitter. They just hate everything.
I mean, they live in Philly. Can't blame them, man. Brotherly love out there is unreal.
True. No, I love Boston. Great sports city. Great fans. And Kyrie, out of all players, I don't feel bad for him getting booed at all or all that shit, because if anybody deserves that, it's Kyrie.
No, absolutely. And I think this is big for basketball, honestly. I think this is really big for basketball because earlier this season, obviously, with how much the Lakers suck and everything, Westbrook coming out saying, the Westbrook and everything, blah, 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 that's not cool and blah, blah, blah. Absolutely sounding like a little bitch. And then here comes Kyrie getting, honestly, more abuse than Russell Westbrook got all season in one night. And he responded great. He didn't come out and say, oh, we need to stop that. It's not sportsman, blah, blah, blah. He was like, hey, no, fuck them. Fuck me. Fine. Fuck you. I don't care. It's fine. Call me whatever, but I'm going to give it right back. So shout out to Kyrie for handling like a man and not trying to hide behind LeBron.
Yeah, nothing compares to Ben Simmons.
Oh, shit, dude. And let's talk about that. He didn't even play when the Nets visited the 76ers, and he got absolutely destroyed on the bench. It was great.
God.
Oh, love to see it.
I mean, talk about just the amount of heckling. Like, Philly was so bad to Ben Simmons, they mentally got in his head so much that he couldn't even play.
So bad he could not play. It was awesome. It's awesome. So, hey, NBA, if you are listening right now, we need this. Do not fine Kyrie Irving. Do not suspend him. Don't do anything. Let him be him.
What would they fine or suspend him for?
So there's talks because he cursed during the post-game interview and everything that he would fine for that. The middle finger gesture on live TV he could get fined for as well. But it seems to be at the NBA's discretion. I've been waiting for something to drop. I never follow NBA Twitter, but I have been on there all day and I've not seen anything yet. But, hey, this is good.
Speaking of middle finger gestures, I do have to bring up. I mean, we're gonna switch sports real quick here because I do have to bring up great story. Ryan Hartman of the Minnesota Wild flipping off Evander Kane last week in the Oilers Wild game. Gets fined like $45,000 from the league. He got a shit ton of Venmos from Wild fans.
Oh, I saw
Evander
that.
Kane's ex-wife Venmo'd Ryan Hartman. He ended up getting close to 35,000 in Venmos, and then he obviously paid the fine out of pocket and donated that money to Children's Hospital
That's
of
awesome.
Minnesota.
That's
But
awesome.
that was just great to see. Great to see my Minnesota Wild fan base rallying around that, finding Ryan Hartman's Venmo and just Venmoing him. Like, it was just a shit ton of Venmos from fans that it was just funny.
That's awesome. You know what, Noah? Let's stick with the middle finger. All right, this is going to be a middle finger show today, but this time we're going to go a little bit more metaphorical. And this is a metaphorical finger to the play-in tournaments and the teams that make it in to the playoffs through the play-in tournaments. Let's talk about Suns Pelicans last night. We talk about how sometimes in football, oh, it looks like they're playing a Pee-wee team. Oh, it looks like, bro, it looks like the Suns were playing fifth graders that just learned how to play basketball, especially in that first quarter. I mean, I know the Pelicans came back and made it a close game, 99 to 110, only an 11-point victory, but they were up by 21 at some points. The line was up at 23 and a half at one point. I mean, Pelicans, congratulations for making the playoffs, but this is why the play-in tournament needs to stop. This is ridiculous. This is a waste of time, waste of energy. And honestly, the only team it hurts is the Suns. Because the Suns, they get one player injured in a meaningless game at this point, because you're still going to have Paul and Booker in there in the third quarter no matter how much you're up. And so they could tweak something, do something, and then the Suns are done with the playoffs. This is pointless. This is meaningless. The Suns playoffs start next round. This is just a warm-up game for them, and it's stupid.
Yeah, the Pelicans, let's keep in mind they were 10 games under 500. Like 36 and 46
son of a bitch.
regular season record. Obviously, they make it in because they got lucky because Paul George managed to test positive for COVID. With healthy Paul George, they don't win that. The Clippers, probably should have been the 8 seed in there. They would have actually put up more of a fight. I fully expect the Suns to sweep this series. I don't think there's too much question about that. I don't think that's a hot take by any means. I think a lot of people would agree this should be a sweep. And then we'll see who they end up with in the second round. But, for now, this series doesn't matter.
It doesn't. And like I said, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, and it's a waste of coverage. But with that being said, tomorrow night, we will be live covering Suns versus Pelicans Game 2 of the first round playoffs live here on the YouTube. That'll be fun. It'll be fun to call it. We'll be throwing out some live bets, a couple same-game parlays and everything like that. Look for me to probably just slam every player's over on points for the Suns. And take probably under on everything else for Booker because that motherfucker cannot get above 5 rebounds or 5 assists or anything. It's unbelievable. And don't get me wrong, he's at 25, 5, and 5. It's a great stat line, but would love for him to put up a double-double every once in a while.
Yeah, well, I think the beauty of this Suns team is he doesn't need to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a cohesive team.
Yeah, and once they get deeper in the playoffs, they're going to need some games where he just goes complete takeover, which he's totally capable of doing. He's had plenty of those games in the playoffs, last year especially. And, we'll see. But this series, it doesn't really matter. I'd rather keep those legs fresh.
Yeah.
And, don't need Chris Paul or Booker or Ayton to have more than, 28, 30 minutes because you can win the game without playing him more than, 2/3 of it. So
no, absolutely. It'll be interesting. It's going to be fun tomorrow night. I cannot wait. Noah, before we wrap up here, I want to talk a little bit of golf. I know we're not a big golf show, but we do talk some golf sometimes. 2 major announcements coming out. One, I don't remember if we talked about it last week or not. Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods officially announced for the Players, correct? Or was it the Open? Which one's next? The Players, right?
The PGA Championship.
I'm sorry. They both, whichever major it is, we're a great sports show, guys. We do our research here, obviously. Whichever one it is, they are going to be in it. Lefty and Tiger, it's going to be great. can't wait to cover that. Oh, I've been enjoying this golf season so far. The PGA Tour has been good to me money-wise and good to me viewing-wise. It's been hell of a time. Shout out to Spieth for winning this weekend.
Except for his poor baby.
What happened there? What are you talking about, his poor baby?
Did you not, after he won and his wife was running up to him and carrying the baby and like jerking it around? Apparently,
really?
Yeah, apparently a kid. I haven't looked into it. I saw the headline. I didn't look into it deep enough to know if it was true or not. But apparently there's reports that the baby got a concussion from that.
Oh, Jesus. Well, the baby's in protocols, T's and P's to the baby. I mean, I get it's an exciting moment, but let's support the head a little bit there, Mom. But hey, shout out.
Yeah, I was watching that and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, that you can't handle a baby like that. And I don't know two shits about like parenting or caring for a little baby or a child, but even I was like, you can't be like running like full speed with a baby, not supporting the head, and just like things like bouncing around like duh, 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 duh. I'm like, yeah, that's
oh my God,
that's just can't do that. Can't do
dude.
that.
No, you really can't. You really can't. We're not a parenting show, but hey, to you parents out there potentially listening, let's support the head. All right, let's support that head, support the soft spot. Let's not give babies. Let's not put babies in protocol. Jesus Christ. Speaking of protocol, actually, other golf news relating more to the NFL. Actually, the match is going to return, Noah, but this time there will be no golf pros, just GOATs. And we are talking Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. I mean, I've always loved the matches. They have been so much fun to watch every summer, like as they've been coming out. This is going to be awesome. More than anything, even if they all suck at golf. I mean, Rodgers and Tom, obviously very good. I've never seen Patrick or Josh play, but it's going to be good banter. It's going to be fun to hear hear all of those quarterbacks talk.
Yeah, given their handicaps, it should be pretty decent. I think Brady and Josh Allen are pretty comparable. Rodgers probably the best golfer out of all of them. Not sure entirely on how Mahomes' golf game is. I wouldn't be surprised if he's, the worst golfer out of the four of them.
Yeah.
But, they're all such good athletes that they'll still be pretty good golfers.
Oh, it's going to be great.
And
They're playing at the Wynn course, I believe, out in Vegas. And I believe it's going to be June 2nd or April?
It's next year.
Next year?
Right?
No, it's in June. June 1st.
Of 22 or 23? Oh.
I mean, I'm not seeing anything, at least in the press release, that says 2023. So I'm going to be an ass and assume that it's going to be 2022. June 1st, 2022. It's going to be on a Wednesday. So that's going to be some good afternoon viewing on a random Wednesday. I'll take it.
All right. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, Noah, I mean, like I said, we'll be covering NBA tomorrow. Suns versus Pelicans game 2. That we will be live 15 minutes before the start of the game. I believe it's a 6 o'clock tip tomorrow night. Let me double check. 7 o'clock tip tomorrow night. So we will be live about 15 minutes prior to tip. And we'll rattle off some bets. Watch the Suns hopefully take home an easy victory. And yeah, Noah, you have anything else to say to the D-Gens before we sign off tonight?
Hey, Suns in 4, baby.
Suns in 4. Hey, why not Suns in 16? Huh? They just need 16 wins. Suns in 16, baby.
I'm not going to get too ahead of myself there, but,
Fair enough. Noah, thank you so much for coming on. I'll see you tomorrow. Until next time, we'll see you next time on Degenerate Takes.